Hello and thanks for joining us. This is the news on the hour. I am Priscilla Iwurm. President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday met behind closed doors with the Inspector General of Police IGP Muhammad Adamu, the Director General of National Intelligence Agency Ahmed Abubakar, and the National Security Advisor Babagana Mungunu at the Presidential Villa Abuja. Also at the meeting was the Chief of Staff, Malam Abba Kari, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. It was gathered that the meeting was for the proposed African Security Leadership Summit to be hosted by Nigeria. The security chiefs did not address journalists after the meeting. Details in our subsequent bulletin. Negotiation between the federal government and the Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council of the new minimum wage has again rescheduled for September 16th. It can be recalled that the last negotiation between the government and the GNPSNC was to hold on September 4th, but was suspended. Alade Lawal, Secretary General of the Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council, confirmed to newsmen on Tuesday in Lagos that the meeting was rescheduled at the instance of the officials. The organized labor and the federal government have been in conflict over the implementation of the new national minimum wage, which was signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari on April 18th. Negotiating between the government and the Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council, representing labor in the technical committee set up to negotiate the consequential adjustment to workers' salaries as the result of a new minimum wage, had broken down due to unresolved differences in the proposals. The Islamic movement in Nigeria, popularly known as Shiites, have accused the Nigerian police of killing 3 of its members in Kaduna during its Ashura morning procession on Tuesday. The group, through its media coordinator, Yahya Muhammad, alleged that 3 persons, including a minor, was killed in Kaduna while they were observing the religious ritual, adding that the procession was peaceful in Abuja because the police could not stop them. Reacting to the National Police Force denied the allegation, noting that the group was making up stories to win public sympathy, stating that the command had no record of casualty, insisting that the police dispersed the gathering crowd professionally. Traders in Ogbete main market, Enugu, have protested non-conduct of election for the administration of the market union for over 2 years. The traders, who carried placards indicating their grievances, protested in the council premises of Enugu North Local Government Headquarters along Okpara Avenue, Enugu. Some of the placards carried various inscriptions, all condemning the conduct of the election. Trade leader of the concerned Ogbete market traders, Osita Ike, who spoke on their behalf, told the chairman of the Enugu North Local Government Council that the overstay of the caretaker committee in Ogbete for a period of 2 years and 1 month instead of 6 months was long overdue. He lamented that it was an aberration for a non-trader to oversee the administration of the traders inside the market and called for immediate conduct of election. Professor Gideon Okedaya, a lecturer with the Ondo State University of Science and Technology, Okitapupa, who was recently kidnapped, has been found dead. The decomposing body of the deceased was discovered on Monday in a bush where his abductors kept him. Dr. Dikbo Akomolafe, the chairman Academic Staff Union of Universities Osutec chapter, confirmed the incident on Tuesday in Okitipupa. He said that ASU and the university were sad and in disarray over the development. Until his last stay on Earth, Okedaya was a senior lecturer at the Department of Mathematical Sciences and acting Dean School of Postgraduate Studies at ASUTEC. Meanwhile, the spokesman Ondo State Police Command SP Femi Joseph had earlier confirmed receiving official report on the kidnap of the Don from the university management, but declined further commitment because the incident happened in Edo. Up next is the business news, and of course, Chinwendu Osisiogwu is on standby. Don't go away.
This is the business news on television Nigerian. I am Chinwendu Osisiogwu. The National Bureau of Statistics has said that Lagos and Ogun states had the highest number of internet subscription in the second quarter of 2019. According to the telecoms data for first quarter and second quarter 2019 released on Monday, Bayelsa and Ebonyi State had the least number of subscribers. According to the number, a total of 173.71 million and 174.04 million subscribers were active on voice as against 162,032,481 in fourth quarter 2018, representing 0.18% increase in voice subscriptions quarter on quarter. It added that a total of 122.67 million and 116.31 million subscribers were active on the internet as against 103.51 million in fourth quarter 2018, representing 5.47% growth quarter on quarter. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has said that the recent closure of Nigerian's border has significantly led to a reduction in the smuggling of premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, out of Nigeria. It was reported that smugglers took the commodity to as far as Burkina Faso, Mali, and Cote d'Ivoire. However, the Group Managing Director, NNPC, Mele Kyari, stated that the closure of Nigeria's border towards the end of August, as well as other interventions, had helped in reducing the smuggling of petrol. The NNPC had stated in July that petrol was being smuggled to neighboring Ghana, adding that this was largely due to the disparity of price of petrol between Nigeria and the West African country. The corporation explained that while the pump price of petrol in Nigeria was 145 naira per litre, the cost in many other West African markets was about 350 naira per litre. According to the NNPC, smugglers see the incentive in smuggling the products from Nigeria to other locations in West Africa. Sell pressure in the equities markets dominated at the start of the week as investors counted losses totaling 27.6 billion naira at the end of trading on the Nigerian Floor Exchange on Monday. The market capitalization of equities listed on the NSE dropped from 13.207 trillion naira to 13.179 trillion naira as the all-share index shed by 0.21% to settle at 27,089.84 basic points. The year-to-date loss worsened to minus 13.8%, dragged by major losses in large-cap stock such as Nestle Nigerian PLC, Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC, and Access Bank PLC. Activity level weakened as volume and value traded fell by 6.7% and 33.3% to 290.491 million units and 4.294 billion naira respectively. Guarantee Trust Bank PLC 128.5 million units, FBN Holdings PLC 41.8 million units, and Transnational Corporation of Nigeria 32.9 million units were the top traded stock by volume, while GTB 3.4 billion naira, FBN Holdings 183.5 million naira, and Access Bank PLC 162.7 million naira were the top traded stock by value. Performance across sectors was mixed as three sectors recorded positive performances. Investor sentiment as measured by market breadth advanced decline ratio strengthened to 1.1x from 0.9x posted last Friday as 15 stock advanced against 14 stock that declined. Now we shall be looking at the graphical representation of business stories making headlines. But that's the much we have for you today on TVN Business Updates. I'm Chirende Osisiago. Thanks for watching.
Moving on, the Center for Social Justice, Equity and Transparency has condemned the report by the Human Rights Watch that children are unscrupulously held in the northeast by the Nigerian army. Correspondent Lawrence Audu was at the press conference and files in this report.
The Center for Social Justice, Equity and Transparency, CSJET, has garbaged a report by the Human Rights Watch which alleged that children are arbitrarily being detained in facilities in the northeast. Addressing a press conference in Abuja on Tuesday, CSJET, through its executive secretary, Comrade Isaac Ikpa, joined other Nigerians in condemning what it described as blackmail based on unfounded allegations.
This strategy of shopping for incriminating anecdotal concussions against the Nigerian military is a strategy that Amnesty International, a leading antagonist of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and key supporter of terrorists in the country, had repeatedly deployed without success. It is disappointing at this point that Human Rights Watch is now replicating the same strategy without modification after Amnesty International, AI, that originally owned the approach of discrediting the military to give tractions to terrorists, has given up on it. The intention of the report is to garner support, sympathy for Boko Haram fighters, while painting the military as an organization that incarcerates, torture, and dehumanize children, which is totally false.
The center also questioned human rights mission for lumping together detention units with rehabilitation programs while missing out to acknowledge the role of indigenous groups to improve conditions in the area.
The only aspect that should have been a common concern for Human Rights Watch at the exact issues it shields away from. Other local or indigenous groups that have worked in the areas affected by Boko Haram have done much to improve on the conditions in the area through genuine humanitarian work. But Human Rights Watch has not done anything to address its discovery of a so-called harsh interrogation of children. We would have also loved for Human Rights Watch similarly failed to be realistic by asking that children that are freed from detention should be handed over to civilian judicial authorities, forgetting that some of them were in custody as per court rulings.
The center, while urging compatriots and the rest of the world to join in disregarding the Human Rights Watch report, however, three pertinent questions the group failed to answer in its supposed in-depth report.
The Center for Social Justice, Equity and Transparency, CSJET, is therefore calling on the Nigerian authorities and the rest of the world to throw the Human Rights Watch report into the garbage bin, because that is where it rightfully belongs, and it should be disregarded totally. Perhaps some measure of originality might have mitigated the situation, such that some lines of the document would have been salvageable, but the manner it copied an old format and has failed to record any success pains those that who issued the report are as lazy and unimaginative. It is on these facts that I encourage the world and members of the Fourth Estate to continue to demand more answers to these pertinent questions. 1. Why are they doing this to Nigeria? 2. Why do they want Nigeria to fail even when the country has refused to fail? 3. Who is afraid of President Muhammadu Buhari and the military?
The poorly documented piece has sparked outrage amongst Nigerians, especially those in the know about the gallant troops' exploits in the last 4 years. Lawrence Audu, TVN News.
Moving on to the foreign scene, amid unprecedented scenes in the Commons, some members of parliament protested against the suspension with signs saying silence while shouting "shame on you." It came after Prime Minister Boris Johnson bid to call a snap election in October was defeated for a second time. Opposition member of parliament refused to back it, insisting a law blocking a no-deal Brexit must be implemented first. In all, 293 members of parliament voted for the Prime Minister's motion for an early election, far short of the two-thirds needed. Parliament was suspended at just before 2 GMT on Tuesday as Speaker John Bercow, who earlier announced his resignation, was due to lead members of parliament in a procession to the House of Lords to mark the suspension. A group of angry opposition backbenchers tried to block his way late into the night. Members of parliament also burst into song of the common benches, singing traditional Welsh and Scottish song, Labour anthem, red flag, and hymns like Jerusalem. BBC assistant political editor Norman Smith said the uproar in parliament wasn't just pantomime politics. There is genuine fury and incredulity that at such a crucial moment for the nation, the place has been shut down. The US extracted a high-level spy from inside Russia in 2017, citing multiple Trump administration officials with direct knowledge of the operation. CNN reported that U.S. intelligence feared the sources covered could be blown by U.S. officials. The decision was made soon after a meeting in which President Trump unexpectedly shared classified U.S. intelligence with Russian officials. Reports also confirmed that the mole was the highest level U.S. source inside Russia. Reporting by CNN, the New York Times says the source was outside the inner circle of Russia leader. President Putin had regular access to Putin and was even able to photograph documents on the leader's desk. Incoming European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen had named her choices for the EU's new top team. Those of her list face some difficult challenges, including handling the UK's exit from the 28-nation bloc and the fight against climate change. If approved by the European Parliament, von der Leyen's executive team will be the most gender diverse in EU history, with 13 women and 14 men. There is no UK nominee, as Brexit is currently scheduled for 31st of October and the exit date is the day before the new commission takes office. MEPs will hold confirmation hearing for each nominee. Von der Leyen, Germany's former Defense Minister, will officially replace Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker on 1st November. And that's all in the news at the hour. And thanks for watching. I am Priscilla Iworm.